Do you still remember the texture of my hair? Or just the sound of my screaming that day?
Do you still remember the texture of my hair? Or just the sound of my screaming that day? Jane asks coldly, running a hand through her gorgeous, voluminous afro. Across from her, Suho pauses with his champagne glass midair, staring intently at her. 5 years ago, in a cramped NYC studio apartment, they had loved and hated each other with a raw intensity that nearly broke them. Now, they've reunited as the lead architect and designer for a multi-billion-dollar project in the most elegant business center in the city. Jane's heart is racing, but her voice remains as steady as ice. Outside the hallway, her fiancé Ian stands waiting with a bouquet of flowers. A promising Korean surgeon, Ian is Jane's sanctuary, her warm sunlight. But as Jane steps out of the conference room, she can't find her usual bright smile. Ian senses her shift and wraps a protective arm around her shoulder. But Jane feels a chill. The cold scent of Suho's cologne seems to cling to her collar. Oblivious, Ian gently strokes the ends of her hair and asks about their dinner plans. That night, Jane is alone in her workshop, carving wood. Furniture design was the weapon she chose to survive and thrive in New York. As she aggressively planes the wood, her hands suddenly stop. The scent of Korean cedar triggers a wave of memories of dreaming and designing with Suho years ago. Her phone vibrates. It's a text from Suho. The blueprints need a revision. Come to my hotel, now. Jane grips the phone tight. Within seconds, she's grabbing her coat and racing out into the New York night. Your furniture still smells like Korean cedar. You couldn't erase those 5 years we spent together, could you? Suho whispers low, leaning over Jane's shoulder. His studio is filled with Korean artifacts, bespoke furniture, and the raw scent of cedar wood. Jane feels his breath near her cheek. 5 years ago, they had promised to shake up the NYC market with traditional Korean techniques. Jane knows she should push him away, but her body remembers their rhythm, and she's rooted to the spot by a familiar, dangerous tension. Ian waits for Jane at a cafe, but she's a no-show and isn't answering her phone. Anxiously scrolling through social media, his eyes narrow. In a photo of Jane's recent work, he spots a tiny, blurred shadow. It's unmistakably the silhouette of Suho, the ex-boyfriend Jane claimed to despise. The cold jealousy hidden behind his kind face begins to surface. Ian quietly leaves the cafe and heads straight for Jane's workshop. Leaving Suho's studio, Jane walks through the pouring New York rain. Her soaked afro feels heavy on her shoulders. Suho's sharp question haunts her. Does that doctor of yours even know the look in your eyes when you're carving wood? Jane shudders, realizing that the raw, destructive inspiration Suho provides feels more vital than the stability Ian offers. When she arrives at her workshop, she finds Ian's silhouette waiting for her in the cold rain. Ian immediately drapes his coat over Jane's shoulders. His touch as he dries her hair is delicate and warm, but his gaze lingers on a strange bracelet on her wrist. It's an old token of her time with Suho, one Suho had forced back onto her. Jane tries to hide her arm, but a cold distrust has already settled in Ian's eyes. They ride the elevator in silence, the air thick with the smell of rain and the suffocating weight of hidden secrets. Jane's hair. Actually, it was the first thing I fell for. It's more perfect than any piece of art in New York. At a crowded gala, Suho stares directly into Ian's eyes as he lightly brushes the ends of Jane's hair. The veins in Ian's hand tighten around his glass. Ian brushes Suho's hand away and gives a low, threatening warning. I decide how to treat my fiancé. It's none of your business, outsider. Jane feels like she's suffocating in the tension between them. Ian follows Jane as she retreats to the terrace. Are you still in touch with that guy? Why the hell are you letting him touch you like that? Ian's gentle mask slips, revealing a possessive, dark side. As a 20-something American woman who has always lived on her own terms, Jane finds Ian's attempt at control insulting. She tries to pull away, but Ian's eyes are burning with a loss of reason. Suho interjects with a sneer, "Doctor, don't try to control a woman like she's one of your patients. Jane doesn't belong in a cage." Suho's provocation leads to a punch from Ian, and the gala instantly descends into chaos. One man is using memories as a weapon, the other is using love as a shackle. Jane clutches her hair in frustration and screams, "Stop it, both of you. I am not anyone's property." Narrative commentary: this intense love triangle isn't just a simple romantic spat. It's a crisis of identity for a woman caught between a man trying to own her through the comfort of the past, and a man trying to control her through the promise of a stable future. This isn't a romantic fantasy, it's a lonely war fought to preserve one's dignity. You think love is about loyalty? No, this is just begging. And I am done. Jane pulls off her engagement ring and slams it on the table. Ian is shocked, but Jane's gaze is clearer and colder than ever. Since the gala, Ian has been monitoring her every move and relationship, choking the life out of her. Jane stares at her afro in the mirror. There stood the face of a woman who was losing her light, trapped in the web of gaslighting. Jane confronts Suho, demanding to know why he really left her. Suho finally confesses the cowardly truth: he stole Jane's tuition money to pay off his family's debt. "I loved you so much that I couldn't bear to see you look at me with contempt." The confession hurt, but Jane realized the truth: Suho, too, had deceived her just to satisfy his own selfish ego. Both men claimed to love her in their own way, but neither truly cared about her dreams or her desires. Suho wanted to use her talent, and Ian wanted to possess her personhood. Jane begins tearing her blueprints off Suho's studio walls. "Neither of you loved me. You just needed a tool to fill the holes in yourselves." She throws the bracelet Suho gave her onto the floor and walks out without looking back. In the crisp dawn air, Jane's mind finally clears. She blocks both Ian and Suho. Back at a hotel, she stands before the mirror and meticulously cares for her hair. As it dries and regains its full, vibrant volume, it feels like her suppressed self is finally breathing again. Jane opens her laptop and begins drafting the proposal for her first solo exhibition. "Go to him then. But don't you ever show your face in front of me again." In a corner of the gallery, Ian spits out his final bit of pride. It's the opening day of Jane's solo exhibition, and Ian has shown up with nothing but his pathetic, wounded ego. Jane simply runs a hand through her perfectly styled hair and offers a faint smile. It's a polite rejection of a total stranger, no resentment, no lingering feelings. Ian finally realizes the scale of the world this woman occupies and disappears into the night. In the center of the gallery, Jane's masterpiece, Roots Wings, a fusion of cedar and steel, glows under the lights. Suddenly, Suho appears. He isn't the arrogant architect from 5 years ago, he's just a member of the audience. "You finally did it. You're more perfect now that you're free of the shackles I put on you." Jane goes to stand beside him. There's no more hatred or excuses, only the silent respect between two artists. Jane offers a light handshake. Her hands are calloused from woodworking, but they are warm and firm. "Thank you, Suho. The scars you gave me actually made my designs deeper." Suho offers a genuine smile for the first time. He follows Jane deeper into the gallery as she leads the way. It's the beginning of a new chapter, not as lovers, but as colleagues who respect each other's journey.
In the end, this was a brilliant declaration of independence by a woman who threw off the shackles of possessive love and the prison of the past. We shine brightest not when we exist as a fragment of someone else, but when we stand whole as ourselves. True love isn't about forcing someone into your mold. It's about respecting and protecting the person they truly are. We must remember that even the most passionate lover can become a wall that traps us. No relationship is worth losing yourself over. You must always be the protagonist of your own life. Have you ever felt like you were losing yourself while in love? Perhaps true love is also about being able to protect your whole, authentic self. This story is a work of fiction,